when Thai people, when the Thais meet with a monk, Thai people tend to be, right? With respect is good. With respect is good. Honor the tradition, the teaching of the Buddha is good. But the real meditation is not controlling yourself. It's not controlling yourself. It's not forcing yourself to do something according to what the book said. I met many great teachers in Thailand, old age, and with sickness. Old age, of course, comes with sickness. Pain here, lost the back. Some have a stomach problem. Some have paralysis. Many of them, but their face is smiling, and no sign of suffering or pain from inside. But the body, even someone, his name is Hluang Pu Suvat, Hluang Pu Suvat Suvatjo. Hluang Pu Suvat, very old, and he got the problem, paralysis. He cannot swallow his own saliva. But the word that he talked is, "Oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy." The attendant monk have to help him suck the saliva out from time to time, whole day. But he said, "I'm so happy," and his mind is so smiling, so smiling. So I have the question in my mind. Most people, when getting old, a lot of complaints. Complain about here and there. A lot of problem, sickness, and complain. Why? Looking around here and there. Doctors, and not satisfied with children, grandchildren. They come so late, they not come and having dinner with me, or whatever. A lot of complaints. But for those teacher monks, very old, a lot of sickness, but they are smiling, happy to share with others, and can solve, can receive so much problem, trouble, question, tears for many people. Sometimes have to take care. We have a monk who stay in hospital. People come say, "Oh, Master, I come here to give you a courage to live long." The Master look. The Master look. "Oh, okay. And then what's your problem?" Then she start to tell a lot of problem. So who give the courage to whom? A very strong person, but come to visit a very old and sick master. But the master have to encourage her how to live, teach her how to live. Then she start crying. "I don't know. ภาษาอังกฤษว่าไงเกิดมาทำไม Why I'm here? I have to be born, and why I'm here?" She start to, complain. The master said, "Oh, you are here because of ignorance." Ignorance. She still don't know. Ignorance in Thai we call don't know, because you don't know. You came here, you born because don't know. Don't know means ignorant of illusions. Illusion, don't know. If you don't know, who know? Master, help me. If you don't know, who know? Why I'm here? Because don't know. Ignorance. Ignorant. หลวงปู่เทพรังสี Thai people know. So meditation doesn't mean very still or control yourself to be silent. Control yourself to be peace. Peace is not born out of controlling. This center, as Tina and Sen name, very nice name, Metta. Metta is not. It doesn't come from creation only. The real Mettas come from the topic today that we're going to discuss. Love, not enough. We need also more than love. light. Without light or wisdom, love become a detention center for many lives to run out. If without wisdom, without light, the word love means what I want, what is going to fulfill me. In the Western term, we may call passion. If I can fulfill my passion, then I satisfy. If you can fulfill my passion, I love you. Or whatever. Love is a little bit narrow. In the ancient term, that's why they use the word metta. Metta. So in English term, they divide it. Passion, lust, love is not the same word. And then we create another word later on, loving kindness, to represent the word metta from the East. It's different term. Different term. All life in this world need someone who can help fulfill us, fulfill ourselves, who understand ourselves, our lives on earth. Because of what? Because we cannot fulfill ourselves yet. We are not fulfilled yet. Unlike the old master I mentioned earlier, they fulfill themselves. The heart filled up with peace and happiness from their practice. It's so much happiness, so much peace. Suffering is there, but the mind is over suffering. Suffering is the body pain, whatever life, you know. Becoming a master doesn't mean everybody please you. So much master has those people who are around them to look for something to take from the master. For example, business. When the master said, oh, I want something to give out book, Dhamma book to give out to the audience. The publisher, we have so many kind of publisher. Some very kind heart, some looking for money only. So they make a lot of profit out of the master. A lot of things like this, money come, wherever there is money fund coming up, then people come and look around how to manage. So it's not easy. But there might observe all those phenomena we call worldly phenomena. Gain, loss, greed, hatred, delusion. They might over and look, oh, it's normal. Oh, this person have greed. The master knows this person have greed. But if you don't want greed to exit here, around you, you have to be free yourself out of this world. Earth is a place of greed, hatred, delusion. It's filled up. That's why it became earth. That's why we are born over and over. So the mind is over and see the opportunity to turn greed into something useful. Turn anger. Anger is a good energy. Anger devastates many things. But with anger, you can turn that kind of potential into some work that needs tremendous amount of energy. Those who are hot-tempered, normally they can manage business very well because they want things to finish fast. Fast. A lot of energy. So most business that succeed have this kind of hot-tempered personality behind the scene. We can turn into something. A lot of masters, they came from hot-tempered practitioner. So that's why they push themselves hard. I want to practice, I want to gain enlightenment at the beginning. After a long year of practice, they start to understand, oh, it's not from forcing yourself. Wisdom, gain. So today the topic about love and light and mindfulness is closely, these three terms closely related. If we are mindful with ourselves inside, for example, we stay at home and then we have eye contact, have ear contacts when we go out, eye contact. We see someone, this kind of form, this kind of ear contact we like. The mind react liking and disliking all the time, all the time. Without practicing mindfulness, people in this world lose themselves into oh yeah, yeah. We lose ourselves to the six centers: the eyes, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the body. We lose ourselves without knowing into the mind. We lose when we see something we like. Our mind totally go there, boom, and followed by what? Followed by countless. If we can measure it, it's maybe tons and tons and tons of mental cookings or mental fabrication. It's better if I can have her phone number. And then I find a way to get her phone number. Nowadays, in the old day, email. Nowadays, maybe social media account, whatever, Facebook, WhatsApp, Lies, whatever. Get her account, and then we can start our relationship or whatever. So, mental fabrications follows in sequence. And then after a few chatting, tremendous amount, tons and tons of mental fabrication told inside the mind, and became passion. And then when we can't let go of passion, it becomes attachment. So inside our mind we set the goal already. This is our goal. I need it. I need some things. I need something. It's created already. Even for meditators, I need the state of being peaceful like last year. Last year, I went to the retreat. It's so peaceful. My mind filled up with love to all beings. It's so good. Okay, finished already. Last year, finished already. This year, meditator come to the retreat. The mind still remember last year. And think that this year, I'm going to get to that state again. Practicing with desire to attain some things. Desire to attain something. See, the mind is not with the body and the mind cell. The mind going to the goal, like the eye going to something, the ear going to something outside. The meditator does not want to know the truth now, want to attain something. We call attachment. Suddenly you went out and you found a small restaurant at the corner of the street by chance, and you eat. Oh, very good. What happened? Register. Yeah, you register already. Register in the mind, and the mind said to the brain, okay, register here. The brain said, oh, I'm too old, register here in my phone. Register and mark the location already. It is so delicious. It's normal, it's nothing wrong. It's nothing wrong to register like that. But we also have to see our mind. Whenever we think about having good meal, our mind run there already. Run there. And the mind have the power to force us to do something, to get that kind of, to fulfill that kind of desire. However, if the desire won't fulfill, what happens? Suffering, disappointment, unsatisfactoriness. So whatever we expect, if it doesn't happen the way we want, then suffering, sadness, depression, whatever, and we call problem, dukkha. Then it's a time to come, boom, here, come to the class, Metta Centre open. But for the wise one, no need to face suffering and come to the center, come to learn Buddhism, come to learn the way out of suffering. Wise person, some wise person just know right away and come and learn. because it's easy for everybody to see that everything is uncertain. What we think is certain, finally uncertain. So uncertainty is certain. Certain things change all the time. What is change? Our mind change all the time. Our hair change all the time. The monk is lucky we shave our hair. Otherwise, people start to see that I have a lot of white hair coming up. But for most people, sometimes the first white hair is very painful. The first one is painful, but the number 500 hairs, no problem. The first one is painful, unacceptable. So when we talk about love, we can't share, we can't have real love if we still have a lot of expectation, a lot of if cause in our life like that. When the eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue have contact, the mind develop either liking or passion, disliking or hatred. And then we have condition that if this thing fulfill, love. If this thing go away fast, love. Or peace or happiness. With an unhappy mind, with a lot of desire, we can't call love. Can't call love. I want to use the word metta instead of love, loving kindness, because it's pure. Loving kindness mean something that you can share without expecting anything in return. Even the words thank you, the eyes that look at you, or whatever, do not expect. This is the quality of metta, or loving kindness. You can do loving kindness in behind the scene. The person whom you help, they may not know who you are, but your mind fulfilled because of what? Because your mind is happy by yourself. Happy by yourself. You have a lot of happiness by yourself. Oh, okay. You tell that guy, do this way, this way, this way. Like when you help the kid. When you help the kid, you never expect anything in return. You can doing something hard to teach the kid, but it's still filled up. Inside still have a lot of love possible, right? Doing very, very hard action on the kid, while the mind still filled up with a lot of love, great love possible. So this kind of quality that we talk about, loving kindness. Now, to have such kind of love, we need a lot of wisdom. A lot of wisdom. To cultivate wisdom, we need the basic step. We need to practice not letting the mind loose into mental fabrication that much. Mental fabrication, if we use a simple term, is thinking or thought. Thinking or thought, which is normal process for all kind of beings. All kind of beings. But only one species, Homo sapiens, human beings, that would be able to practice mindfulness on our own thought. The rest, other animals, other species cannot. They follow whatever they think, whatever they feel. Now when we talk about mindfulness, mindfulness means feeling, knowing and feeling. When feeling is real, when you have the quality of love, can you touch? When you love a kid, like Serene, yes, very lovely. Just at the first look, oh, very lovely, good energy, kids, very lovely. Look, you cannot touch. Feeling is true, is real, but we can't touch. But most of the time, we won't feel ourselves. Can you uh, feel your right foot without moving your right foot? Can you feel your left hand? Can you feel your nose? Can. Using what? Using the mind. Using the mind to feel. You see the mind can move here, 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 and then there. Okay. What language is this one? Okay. You see this one? The language is not important. Whole life we see object outside. Have you ever seen yourself seeing? Something is sitting there and then thinking, seeing and thinking. Again, see yourself seeing. This one is not important. But whole life we, outside is important. This one is not important, but we love this one most. But outside also always important. We always think, we always know that that guy have problem, this guy have problem, that lady has problem. Our neighbor is very bad because the husband doing this, the wife doing that. We know many things. But how about here? So this is an example. This is what this is our world. Our world is our way outside ourselves. When you look here, we try to think. Have you ever seen yourself sitting there and thinking? Think. I didn't say thinking is, I don't say thinking is wrong, but have you seen yourself sitting there and thinking? Meditation, close your eyes, thinking. Thinking. This is the reality. And we see by what? Feeling and knowing. We know that we are thinking. Still have sound? It's gone already. Our mind run to the ears. Run to the ear. This is function of the mind. Then here no problem. Here no problem. We know hearing. What is hearing? No problem. But outside somebody talk very bad, criticize you. What happened? It's the same sound. This is sound. It's nothing. The sound is just like this. It's a wave in the air. Somebody talk a sweet word for you. What happened? The mind react right away, making judgment, react. So whole life we doing this here and there. If you do not know the way how to practice, our whole life will run like this, going and being stimulated and being the slave of all the context, to the eye, to the ears, to the nose, to the tongue, and our thoughts in the mind. Being the slave, react, always react here and there. Reaction is not wrong because all species need basic reaction, basic instinct to survive. But as we are human beings, at the beginning is Homo sapiens, only one species that can develop to the state of higher than other kind of animals, to feel and to know. Like this one, we can train ourselves. You can look at anything. Look at the flowers. The flowers is there. Whole life we know that is beautiful flower. This is not beautiful. This is what I like, what I dislike. Have you seen yourself looking? Ever seen yourself looking? Have you ever seen your mind take reaction? Oh, the mind move and the mind say, this flower is not real, I dislike it. Disliking happen very fast. very fast. Liking, oh, this is not authentic, but the way they made the handmade flower is so beautiful. I like it. Reaction, different people have different reaction. This is we call mindfulness. It's come from the real feeling and knowing the reality as it is now. So what? When we know and feel, then what happened? We won't be the slave, easily moved or easily stimulated by the word, the sweet word, by the acidic word, criticizing, by situation in our life, outside. Sometimes we lost, sometimes we gained. Sometimes we lost friends, family members. Sometimes we gain family member. When we gain family member, happy birthday, happy birthday. The more happy birthday we are, the more older we gain. The more age we gain. The more we are close to death. So the mind moves here and there, and then the residues with unmindful living, the residues is something retained inside. Oh, I don't feel good. What I dislike come in contact all the time. This master, his word said, thinking is a rat, knowing like a cat. You cannot wipe out all the rats. Our practice is just knowing, just feed the cat, feed our cat. This is the practice of mindfulness, knowing the reality, not to control yourself, to be very peaceful, so much powerful. Big light happen now inside your eyes. That is not the purpose of the practice. The Buddha awakened. Buddhas mean awaken. Awakens from what? From the phenomena, from the reality of the body and the mind. Not awaken because go deep inside and then very peaceful. And that the ends. Finish the movie. It's not like that. It's too shallow for that kind of meditation practice. The Buddha go far beyond stillness practice, but he used stillness, very important to practice stillness. Meditation, having light or being still is good, very good, but that is not the purpose of Buddhism. The Buddha teaches us to know the reality as it is. When we know the reality as it is, we will see that anything come and go. Anything come and go. In the past, we have a girl come to the meditation retreat, and the time for questions. Teachers, I have been a broken heart for 2 years. I still in sadness. Can you help me? A girl, 26 years old. So the teacher, not me, the teacher asked the girl, okay, you said 2 years, right? Yes, so painful for 2 years. Have you ever been to a department store, a newly built department store? Yes. Yes, I have. Yes, I had. And because, well, when she feels she in sadness, she go shopping, okay? She went for shopping. So, of course, yes. And that new department store, you didn't know where the toilet is. Yes. I confront that situation. Yes. And then you need the toilet badly. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Oh, at that time you run for toilet, right? Yes. I ran for toilet, of course. Oh, at that time, did you have pain? No, I didn't think about my boyfriend. So, it doesn't mean pain for 2 years. It's pain only when you think about it. Thinking is a rat. The bad rats run all over during those 2 years. But there were countless interval times that the rat was not there, at least when she went to bed. The rat disappeared. If the rat ran 24 hours, she could not sleep, she could not live for 2 years. Still look normal, still look pretty, still nothing, like nothing happened. This means the rats start to disappear little by little. So thinking is like somebody criticize you for a few sentences, but it's so painful for you at that moment. Suddenly you tell yourself, I will remember this for 10 years. I will remember you for the rest of my life. It's so important, it's so painful. Then that person with ignorance, when that person criticizes, it's not important for the person who criticizes you, it's important for you. So that person might go away, live his or her life happily, forget about what he or she criticized you already. Many years pass already, we still keep on thinking about that sentence with pain. See, who took up the knife and pierced you? It's you yourself, it's the thought. When we think, it's like we took the knife, we take the knife off, oh, painful because of you. And we take again the knife up, oh, painful because of you. It's always in the process. So this is the problem of many child, that the father, mother mistreated many children in our society with unmindful living. But the past is already past. We cannot call it back. So what to do? That kind of bad, built-in, deeply bad memory can be helped, can be surface up and disappear by way of practicing mindfulness. By doing something good for yourself so you might have power, by practicing certain kind of meditation so your mind is stable enough, and then when that kind of thought or feeling rise, okay, you are stable enough to see. It's like a big ship, a big vessel in the ocean. The bigger is the vessel is, the larger wave that the vessel can go against it. So if we have a big vessel inside, then the big wave come in our thought, okay, stable enough to see, oh, it's come, okay, it's come and go, everything impermanent. Then when you do something, the feeling of your right foot, left foot that we practiced earlier disappear already, right? Now your mind is thinking and following the talk. See, it's so impermanent. We can't feel our left hand, right hand, left foot, right foot all the time. Things change. It's changing, it's impermanent. Our thoughts are also the same. Our thoughts change much quicker than what we practice. Send our mind to the right foot. Where's my right foot? Okay. Where's my left foot? Okay. What happened to my back now? You feel your back? Okay. The thought changed much quicker than that, with a supreme, the highest speed possible, faster than the speed of light. Cannot measure. So thought change all the time. It keep on changing. Then if we don't know ourselves, when the rat comes, we feed the rat. Okay, because of you, feed. Because of you, feed. Because of you, feed. How much pain accumulates inside. And if we keep this one and we grow old, grow up to be an adult, growing up, keep this one inside, what type of super multiplication it would be? You know, well, because family lawyer, family problem. Monk likewise, a lot of family problem. Monk doesn't have family, but monk receive a lot of family problem. we don't want them to go for legal agreement or whatever. Try to solve first. This is the duty of the monk. Okay, but in some case, better go to see the lawyer quickly. Some case need. This is the practice of the meaning of mindfulness. When you see more and more and more phenomena in yourself, you start to see the nature we call this is wisdom. About 250 BC before Christ, or about 200 approximately 250 years after Buddha, India had a great king, King Asoka. He was the king who spread Buddhism throughout the world in those days. The world that have civilization in those days. That was 250 BC was built by King Asoka because the capital of the Asoka, Pila. This is from his time. Most Pila had have this the alphabet from his era, and one Pila wrote very interesting, inscribed very interesting words that King Asoka used during his era. It's inscribed on the Pila. This is how he governed his country in India, where Buddhism, Hinduism, and other beliefs. At that time, there are many schools of thought. But King Asoka compromised. Sati means purity. Panyas means wisdom. Metta, this is a very ancient word. Loving kindness. Khanti, tolerance. Purity means practicing morality, like a 5 precept, morality. Wisdom, okay, that's what we talk about. Loving kindness, very important. Loving kindness in this day we could interpret it as unconditional love. When your mind is pure with the practice of mindfulness, the Buddha calls the 4 foundation of mindfulness. The mind start to pure, start to let go of phenomena. Whatever happen, okay, it's okay. Not take the past and cook it. Ingredient is now, it's not past. The past is already past. You cannot correct it. Do not worry for much into the future. You can plan and follow your plan, but not plan and then worry. Oh, can I? Checking, no. So say with that kind of practice, the mind gain happiness more and more and more. Purity also practiced by the practice of mindfulness. For example, the first item of 5 precepts, not killing any being. To kill another human being, the mind have to accumulate tremendous amount of anger, rage, to be able to take body action, set intention and take body action to kill someone, right? Everybody knows it's not good to kill other human beings. The mind have to accumulate certain amount of this kind of negativity, anger, to be able to kill. But if we practice mindfulness, anger came. Suddenly you know, see, this is pure. It's purification process. Mindfulness can purify the mind. Last time when we discussed here, I raised an example of driving. Somebody passed in front of your car very wrongly, very ugly. What happened? Our mind want to take reaction, getting angry right away. Hey, you. My friend last time, the one who drove me, suddenly took action. Last time he came here, and it just happened on that day exactly. took action right away. Tapiak. And then, if we practice mindfulness, the mind, instead of focus the important on the external object, then the practice of mindfulness, the mind come back to the mind itself. Oh, before someone passed my car, I was talking to the monk and we have fun. Suddenly, something very dark come in anger. If we always observe our mind, we will see, oh, something changed here, anger come. So the object outside, another driver, another car, is less important than yourself. Is less important than your mind, your own mind is priority. Oh, coming. When you see negativity cannot stay. It's feel shy. So this is the way to purify sati, purity. To take something that is not belong to you, stealing. First, you have to collect tremendous amount of greed. You like it so much. Oh, this one beautiful Tibetan could sell. Oh, they have a lot of pocket here. To steal, you need to have a tremendous amount of greed. Or you get angry with them, you want to destroy them. Either, whatever negativity it is. Then steal it. But when you have desire, you observe. The example last time is, for example, today we walk past through Kathmandu on our lunch. 40% discount. But we said we will wait for 80% discount. The mind run. Desire. I saw one, I don't know, freaks or whatever. It's a monk color. Ooh. It's monk color. See, if whatever we see, external. If we don't know here, then we become the slave of it. The slave. Then when we practice in our daily life like that, with stable mind, when you accumulate enough practice, when the mind moves to have desire, you see, oh, the mind have desire, cannot steal. It's pure. Life is pure, purity. Wisdom, we discussed the wisdom already. Loving kindness, tolerant. This is how he governed the ancient India with peace and harmony, become the great king, King Asoka, great king. And this is how he can spread. He conquered and governed most, I think, the subcontinent of India, every area. At the first stage of his life, very violent, killed so many people. At times, 200,000 people lost their life in one war. Or 60,000 warriors from another kingdom were slaughtered, dead, and the blood covered the ground in Orissa. Then he feels sad to see so much blood cover the ground, and he encountered with a young novice, from a Buddhist novice, a young boy who ordained. Then he changed. In Buddhism, we have only 3 lessons. Only 3, not much. If you finish, you graduated. No more suffering in your life, no matter what happened. The master, when they die, when they about the body about to gone, they not afraid. They look, it's painful. It's come up. Oh, my breath gone. Happy is a bonus. No more next life. No need to take care of this body anymore. Finish the cycle of birth and death. So the training is only 3. We call Stirzaker. Sikha is Sanskrit word. Thrice means 3. Threefold trainings or threefold lesson. Stirzaker. The first one, Sila Sikha. Sila means morality. The study or training in morality. Second lesson is Citta Sikha, or the practice of the mind. This one is very important. Citta Sikha is what we discuss about practice for light, holding crystal. What type of mind is, what type of mind training that is good for the generation of wisdom to be free from suffering? What type of mind isn't? What type of training does not related to Buddhism at all? This is in the second lesson, Citta Sikha. So most Buddhists, when they practice, because not enough study, so just go on to practice. Go on to practice. Then we don't know what we practice sometimes. If the right one, okay, good. If the wrong one, many years practice still give no fruit. This is the second lesson, Citta Sikha, about the mind, training of the mind. And the last one is Panya Sikha, or the training for the development of wisdom. And wisdom is the one who frees oneself from suffering. When suffering, when the one who is free, what happened? Like the Buddha love those who want to kill him, the person who want to kill him, what's his name? Devadatta. His cousin, who tried to kill the Buddha many times, want to be the Buddha instead of the real Buddha, want to control the Sangha, the monk. The Buddha loved Devadatta like he loved his own son, Rahula. It's the same quality of love, with the passionate eye, a lot of compassion, not passionate, compassion eyes. Look at Devadatta that, oh, what he did is gravely wrong, but he still have chance to enlighten. Give him a chance, something like this, like Rahula, like his own son. This is the quality of those who is free. Now, Sila Sikha, the morality, or the first type of training, the first lesson, will give the fruit. The fruit, 3 lessons when we study, when complete, it will give the fruit. The fruit is the Magga, or the path, or we call the Noble Eightfold Path. Noble Eightfold Path. Ariya Magga. Magga, the path. When Magga rise, it will devastate. It will kill, eradicated, uprooted defilements. Then very light inside. If the Magga happen, we call another word that the West know very well, middle path. Middle path. When we study Sila Sikha, morality, what will come is right speech, right action, right livelihood, come from the practice of mindfulness. If you have mindfulness, you can observe yourself. When what you want to talk something, it's come from here first. The pleasure will come here. Oh, I want to talk. You know, if you practice not speaking for a few days, for us it's easy. When my first time when I stopped speaking, when I was student in Australia, I not speaking for a month. Oh, the mind want to speak. Then cannot speak. So what to do? Writing. Writing is also speaking. Speaking. So with mindfulness, we see that before we want to speak out, the pleasure come up first. Before the pleasure come up, the mind think first. The rat running around first. With the practice of mindfulness, we see the rat. Oh, and then we will know by ourselves this one should be addressed or should be quiet, not speak it out. It's not the proper time, or should not speak at all. We know by ourselves. Otherwise, keep on speaking. Right speech or morality, very important. It can hurt people to death, can kill. It's a real poison, and this poison spread not only by speech nowadays. It's through all kind of communication. So right speech nowadays include all the social media. Criticize, liking, disliking, promoting. We can use social media in a good way, positive way. And this can be a very negative way if without mindfulness. So this is the morality on the right speech. Right action, The same. Action will take place only we think first. Right livelihood. We work for what? We earn money for what? For what? To keep this body. To have something to eat. Let us go to the basic. To eat. This is a fundamental need of our lives. To eat. And then we need something to live. A house, a shelter. We need medicine sometimes. We need clothing, proper clothing. This is the basic. This is we work for. So if we work for these basics, then come back to the basic, and the rest is our surplus. It's very, very good livelihood, very good life already. Good life already. When we have long livelihood, it means when we have a lot of desire, we want more and more and more. It's here, it's from here. So practice mindfulness also help with right livelihood. This is the result of practicing morality. Second lesson in Buddhism, 3 lessons only, Stirzaker, or the study of the mind. It includes right effort, right mindfulness, and right samadhi. I don't want to use the word right concentration, because if I use the word that normally translated in the textbook, samadhi is the original word. Concentration means you have to focus, concentrate. Concentrate. For example, let's practice samadhi in or practice meditation in Western term. Then we tend to focus and we tend to force our body and force our mind to be still. Tend to force. Forcing is not the right type of samadhi. Controlling is not the right type of samadhi. Remember what we discussed? Samadhi is mean stable enough to be able to observe the reality. This is the meaning of right samadhi. Uncheckability and stability to the point enough to see the big wave pass to the mind. And finally, with this stable mind, one starts to see that the wave it starts from small one, it's come no matter how big it is, and finally gone. So with the stable mind, not controlling your mind, you start to see the reality that all things is so impermanent. It's non-self, you have no control over it. If one want to control, then suffering, because it will not follow your will. The nature is just like that. See that all ultimate characteristic of all things. This is the meaning of right samadhi. So to control the mind, to know only some part of the body, it's just the basic step, so that the mind not run around. I travel a long hour from Port Macquarie. So in the car, I use my show. I have equipment, but you don't need equipment. Use this one. Not counting. Not counting. Not chanting. Sometimes chanting. Sometimes just feel. Yeah, you see. Because of what? Because long hours sitting, the mind tend to go away, to think here and there, looking out there and think here and there, losing in the world of floating, unmindful thought. So just use it to recall, feeling. Come back to feel the body. Come back to feel the body. The thought will be cut into small pieces. It's not continuous. It's not as multiplication. Bacteria cannot grow. Bacteria of suffering cannot grow. Just here, just come back to feel the body. Some use the breath. No need to carry this one. Breathing. Some use the movement of the body. Some use the mantra. It depends on the intrinsic nature of each individual. Some chant metta like Metta Buddho, Metta Kunang Arahang Metta, and feeling from the heart, sharing to all beings. Many methods to do. So this is this is the effort to practice mindfulness, and then create right type of concentration or samadhi or stability. Then it's generate right view, right thought. Right views means see the truth, the Four Noble Truths. Right thought, the thinking of harming other beings, thinking of thinking here and there. When we are mindful, it generates right thought. So today the love cannot stay long without light. Without light, love is not enough. Only love is not enough. In the Western term, only love is not enough. Need wisdom. Metta alone also not enough. Loving kindness alone not enough. For example, we have loving kindness. We also need wisdom to see that person should receive proper to a certain level of treatment of loving kindness. Too much also can spoil. Like when we raise the kid, too much also spoil the kid. The kid does not know how to be strong enough. Love and light can come because we have the practice of mindfulness. And may all of you be strong and prosper in the Dhamma practice. There is nothing better than knowing oneself. When we know ourselves, we will also know others. When we know ourselves, have less suffering, we can share more with others. It's good for yourself, good for family member, good for society.